Okay, in chapter 9, it's about simple linear regression and correlations. So now this topic we will learn about the relationship between variables. So is there any relationship involved in the study between factors in the relationship, okay, or is there any connection between two factors? So for example, between weight and height, between gender and grade, is there any relationship between having COVID-19 and body immunity and so on? So this is about a technique where we're going to find whether there exists a relationship between two factors or two variables. The objective in this chapter is to be able for you to draw a scatter plot for a set of ordered pairs. Ini macam coordinate of x and y. Kita ada dua pair of data x and y, and then kita akan plot. We call it a scatter plot for set of ordered pairs. Compute the equation of the regression line. So once kita dah dapat a pair of variables x and y tu, kita plotkan data-data tersebut, dan then kita try to form equation of a line that connects points. Okay, lastly is to compute the correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient ni adalah satu indikator yang justify whether there exists a relationship between ordered pairs points. Okay, for introduction, another area of inferential statistics involve determining whether a relationship between two or more numerical or quantitative variables exists. Regression is used to describe the nature of the relationship between variables. So kita nak tengok sama ada relationship yang exist tu adakah positive relationship ataupun negative relationship, adakah ianya bergaris lurus ataupun bukan bergaris lurus. Okay, positive negative relationship indicates that adakah berkadar terus ataupun berkadar songsang hubungan yang wujud antara dua variables. Okay, so correlation adalah statistical method to determine whether a linear relationship exists between variables. Correlation ni kita nak tengok sama ada relationship yang kita dapat daripada regression methods ni, whether it is a linear or non-linear. Okay, there are two methods that we are going to learn in this topic, which is regression and correlation. Regression, kita nak tengok kepada hubungan positif ataupun negatif. Okay, correlation kita nak tengok whether hubungan linear tu exist ataupun tidak exist. Okay, there are two types of relationship, simple and multiple. Okay, for a simple relationship, only two variables involved. Okay, cuma dua type of data sahaja yang terlibat. Contohnya tinggi dan berat, gender dan grade, ataupun mempunyai keluarga yang punyai taraf hidup yang sederhana, ataupun mempunyai pelajar tersebut mempunyai kemahiran dalam sesuatu perkara. Okay, dua variable sahaja. That is called a simple relationship. Okay, for a multiple relationship, many variables are under study. Okay, contohnya pelajar daripada keluarga sederhana dengan keupayaan untuk matematik, keupayaan untuk bercakap dalam bahasa Inggeris dan keupayaan untuk independen. Itu adalah hubungan yang variable yang banyak. So we call this multiple relationship. Okay, simple relationship can also be positive ataupun negative. Sama ada berkadar terus ataupun berkadar songsang. Positive relationship exists when both variable increase or decrease. So macam ni. Okay, so untuk foreclosures, bila dia nilai foreclosures, nilai X dia bertambah, household unit also bertambah. Keturunan yang positif. So we call this a strong positive relationship. Okay, kalau unemployment rate bertambah, makin bertambah, tapi college educated percentage of college educated makin berkurangan, ini adalah negative relationship, iaitu keturunan adalah negatif. So we call this strong negative relationship. Okay, kalau katakan line yang kita dapat daripada plotted scattered plot tu, yang exist in between the plot, the data plot tu, almost the keturunan dia almost zero, data dia flat saja. Okay, horizontal line. So we call this is no relationship. Okay, in studying relationship between two variables, first we collect data, then we construct a scatter plot. Purpose of scatter plot is to determine the nature of the relationship. So daripada dah scatter plot tu, titik-titik tu, kita dah boleh get the first impression what type of data or what type of relationship the data is. Okay, it's either positive relationship, negative relationship, or there is no relationship. Possibilities include positive, negative, curved linear, or non-discernible relationship. So there are 4 possibilities that we can see from the scatter plot. Okay, so these are 4 types of relationship that we could get from study. So this is a positive linear relationship. We can see the X increase, Y also increase. Negative linear relationship, when X increase, Y decrease. Relationship not linear, so from the scatter plot we can see bukan straight line tapi a bit curvy line. So this is not linear relationship. Okay, if we have a straight line or horizontal line, so we say there is no relationship between variables. Okay, scatter plots is a graph of the ordered pairs for X and Y. Number consisting of the independent variable X. X is independent variable, which is not depend on any other variable. It stands on its own. And the dependent variable Y. Dependent variable Y, by its name, dependent because its value depends on value of X. Scatter plot is a visual way to describe the nature of the relationship between the independent and dependent variables. So this is the type of scatter plots. Normally, in a table form, we listed values of X and the respected value of Y. Macam ni, contoh macam ni. Katalah X given these values and Y given these values given X values. Kalau X equal to 1, Y is 2. X equal minus 4, Y is 3 and so on. Okay, so from this we plot scatter plot. Scatter plot kita buat dulu paksi X dan Y macam ni. Kemudian kita letakkan titik-titik untuk X dan Y yang sepadan. For example, bila X1, Y2. Bila X1, Y2. So titik 1, 2 di sini. Bila X negatif 4, X negatif 4, Y 3. So titik negatif 4, 3 di sini dan seterusnya. So this is untuk titik ataupun point, 4 points X and Y. So kita dapat 4 titik di sini. Dan kita letakkan nilai X dan Y di atas titik tersebut. Okay, so this is a scatter plot. Okay, for scatter plots, the independent variable is the variable in the regression that cannot be controlled or manipulated. So independent variable ni is normally di nilai yang kita berikan, nilai observe. So kita tak boleh control dia, it's already there. Okay, the dependent variables is the opposite of independent variables. Sebab values of dependent variable, it depends on value of independent variables. Okay, normally independent is X values, dependent variable is Y values. Okay, the independent variable X is plotted on the horizontal line. Horizontal axis, sepanjang paksi X lah yang melintang. Okay. Dependent variable y is plotted on the vertical axis pada paksi yang menegak untuk dependent variable y. Paksi melintang variable independent variable x, paksi yang menegak ataupun vertical axis untuk dependent variable y. Okay, example, construct a scatter plot for the data obtained in the study of age as a independent variable x and systolic blood pressure randomly selected subjects. Ni blood pressures untuk setiap umur bagi 6 orang yang terpilih, 6 subjek yang terpilih. So in the dependent variable y ni, systolic blood pressure ni, it depends on age. Okay, so bila makin age bertambah, blood pressure pun makin bertambah. So this is X umur ni adalah independent variable dan blood pressure Y adalah dependent variable sebab dia bergantung kepada umur. So for scatter plot, kita plotkan X dan Y, di mana X adalah independent variable iaitu umur, titik-titik yang kita plotkan. And then blood pressure adalah dependent variable untuk nilai-nilai Y. So kita plotkan bila umur sekian, berapa blood pressure dia, umur untuk yang kedua. Okay, daripada sini untuk umur 43, blood pressure 128. So, kita plotkan umur 43, blood pressure 128 dan seterusnya sehingga habis nilai-nilai X dan Y yang diberikan. Okay, so from the plot, it suggests, kita boleh nampak daripada sini semakin menaik. Okay, kita boleh estimate yang semakin umur bertambah, semakin blood pressure pun akan bertambah. Okay, the plot suggests a positive relationship as a person's age increases. Blood pressure also tends to increase. Example 2, construct a scatter plot for the data obtained in the study of the number of absences and the final grades of 7 randomly selected students from a statistic class. Okay, number of absences, so bilangan orang yang gagal hadir. Okay, bilangan yang gagal hadir bagi setiap student A dengan grade yang diperolehi di sini. Okay, sini di data. And then from data kita buat scatter plot yang begini, setiap X and Y, padanan X and Y. So kita akan boleh dapat nampak macam decreasing trend. Semakin banyak bilangan tak hadir, bilangan ponting tu, final grade dia pun akan makin merosot. So the plot suggests a negative relationship. Final grade will decrease as the number of absences increase. Example 3, construct a scatter plot for the data obtained in a study of number of hours. 9 people exercise each week. So number of hours exercise bagi 9 orang. Dengan amount of milk he or she consume. So amount of milk that he or she consume. So daripada sini kita boleh plotkan scatter plot X versus Y untuk 9 subjek. Okay, so kita plotkan sebegini. So daripada sini kita tak boleh nak dapat exactly, tak boleh nak estimate adakah dia makin increasing ataupun decreasing. The relationship between hours of exercise dengan ounce of milk. No specific relationship since no pattern is noticeable. Okay, so sometimes a scatter plot shows a curvilinear relationship between the variables. So kalau bentuk kita dapat scatter plot yang macam ni, so kita boleh expect that the relationship tu is a bit curvy, dia bentuk curve macam ni. So bukan straight line, line dia menurun kemudian dia menaik semula. So it's a curvy linear relationship between variables X and Y.